Hi, my name is Carol Pepper, and I'm the CEO of Pepper International. Welcome to Module 9 of my course, How to Create Your Own Single-Family Office. In Module 9, we're going to discuss preparing the next generation to take over the family business and run the family into the future. This is a wonderful section of the course, one of my favorite things to work on as a consultant to families, and often, frankly, an area that's very neglected. You may recall earlier we talked about the fact that 80% of families around the world fall apart within 3 generations. And in fact, the majority reason that they fall apart are family fights and unprepared heirs. So this is a key goal of the single family office, to keep the family going, to make sure the heirs are ready to take over the family fortune when the time comes. So in this module, we're going to start out talking about questions that keep parents up at night, the development needs to raise healthy children who can succeed, how the family office can help and support families in this development. Then we're going to talk about educating the children to handle money very briefly. We have a separate course on that you can check out as well. How to develop future leaders, how to work using social impact and philanthropy to help that development, and then money and friendships and money and love and how these things affect wealthy children. Okay, let's start with the fact that parents are always worried. Every parent is worried about their child. Parents want to know what's going on in the head of my teenagers. They want to communicate via Twitter. How am I supposed to get them to look at something as long as a family constitution or understand something complex about our family business? How do I communicate with my children? So many people tell me they have to actually literally text their children if they want to get their attention because the heads are always down on the phone. And how am I going to get them to start to engage with the family office and understand their role in the future of our business and our company? These are the things that keep wealthy parents up at night, and these are the things that we have to develop processes and procedures to handle. So let's start with some core information you may or may not know. I certainly learned about it. There are 2 gentlemen, Bill Messenger and Terry Hunt, who wrote an article that you can find here called Identifying and Meeting Core Needs in Wealthy Families. It was published in the Journal of Practical Estate Planning in May 2006. Both Bill and Terry are members of billionaire families, and so they have a unique perspective, being both psychologists and family members, on what is required. The first thing that they talk about that children need to develop, and all children need this, is core self-esteem. Accepting my place in the world, given the advantages that money has brought to me. Many children feel very guilty when they see the difference between their lifestyle and what other people go through, whether they see it on television or traveling or at school, and this can cause a conflict inside of children. They also often are troubled about how the family earned their money. So if the family earned their money in chemicals or, timber and clear-cut forests, the children today, under very different circumstances of the world, may feel guilty about how the family made their money, and this affects their core self-esteem. So it's very important to help children to understand that they can develop their own self-esteem and that it is natural to question, what is my role in this world when we have so much and others have so little? A second core development issue for wealthy children is the ability to work. It's important to be able to develop a productive life that is personally and financially rewarding. This helps you develop a realistic self-assessment and to be able to function in the world. Children that are not given the opportunity to work or never have to work for anything often feel very insecure and anxious. These are the children we often see dropping out, having drug problems, sitting around at home all day, unable to launch, failure to launch problems. So we want to connect children to the idea that money is derived from working and that they can learn how to work properly. This develops a sense of personal achievement versus relying on the family's introductions and reputation. A good example of this is when parents try to buy a building to get their kids into a particular college. If dad says, I want my son at Harvard and I'm happy to endow a building there or a chair there, frankly, that's not going to work anymore because Harvard has far too many people making the same offer. And if, frankly, the son or the daughter is unable to meet the academic requirements of Harvard, they're probably going to flunk out and feel terrible about themselves. And they would be much better off in a school where they can achieve academically and feel some sense of accomplishment. So robbing your children of the ability to accomplish on their own is really crippling them for life. Don't do that to your children.